Hey investors, this is Manvestor and let's start learning. Do you know, even though you are paid a constant salary each month, but the value of that salary is decreasing with time? This can be easily understood using the concept of time value of money. So, according to this concept, $1 today is worth more than $1 in future. So what I am telling you is a small amount of money today may be equivalent in a value to a larger amount received at a future date. How can this be true? Let's understand this using an example. Consider this scenario. What if I pay you $900 today and ask you to pay me back $1,000 in the evening? Would you accept this arrangement? I guess no. But what if, same scenario, I give you $900 today and ask you to pay me back $1,000 after a year? Would you accept this arrangement now? I guess most of you will answer yes. In fact, this is a very common concept used in lending. Can you guess where it is used? Comment down below your answers. And do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Okay, coming back. This means that today's $900 is somehow equivalent to $1,000 a year after. But how? Does dollar value decreases with time? In fact, you are paying $100 as a compensation for receiving money today. So let's define a concept called interest rate, which is $100, the compensation, divided by today's money which you are receiving, $900, multiplied by 100%. So this comes out to be 11.1%. This interest rate is very crucial and can be thought as one of the three things. First, rate of return, which is required for you to make the investment. Second, it is the discount rate for the future value of 1000 for finding the current value. What does 1000 rupees 1 year after would mean as of today? And third, the opportunity cost of getting the money today and not waiting for the future. Let's call this interest rate small r. Now, how to compute this interest rate? This interest rate is equal to real risk-free interest rate plus inflation premium plus default risk premium plus liquidity premium and finally plus maturity premium. Okay, I get it. It's a bit too much, but just keep following it and comment down below in case you have any doubt. Now, let's look at them one by one. First is risk-free rate, which is nothing but the return with zero risk. What is the minimum return which you will get considering there is no risk at all? And one important thing, here we consider no inflation in this point. Second is the inflation premium, which is there for compensating the expected inflation or expected loss in purchasing power. So consider 10 years back, a product say A or a loaf of bread was not priced at the same level which is marked today. So this equals the average inflation rate expected over the maturity or the life of the debt. So suppose you have taken 10-year loan or 10-year bond, then the maturity or the life of the bond is 10 years. So these two components, real risk-free interest rate and inflation premium, combine to make something called nominal risk-free interest rate. Third is the default risk premium, which is there for compensating if borrower fails to pay back. Fourth is liquidity premium. This is there for compensating the difficulty one might face in liquidation of his or her investment. So what I mean by liquidation is getting back the cash. Suppose you have bought $100 worth of bond, but you are not able to sell it back and get the money, the actual currency, dollar amount or rupee amount, and you are facing some difficulty. So to compensate that, we use liquidity premium. And the last one is maturity premium. This is there for compensating the longer time duration for which the money is borrowed. So suppose you compare between two similar type of bonds, the only difference being one is for 1 year and another one is for 10 years. So the 1 year bond will in general pay you lesser interest rate compared to the 10-year bonds. So the 10-year bond will pay you higher interest rate. That is the compensation which the bond issuer is giving you for longer time of borrowing that money from you. Now that we know what makes up the interest rate, let's get back to our example. So the money today which you are receiving, $900, that is called present value. The money which you will receive 1 year later on is called the future value, and the compensation, of course, is what we defined interest rate. So these three are related using this equation, where future value equals present value into 1 plus r to the power n, where n is the number of time periods. So suppose you took the money for 1 year, then n equals 1. You took money for 3 years, the n equals 3. Similarly, so for our scenario, the present value is 900 and the interest rate is 11.1%, the time period being 1 in year. Okay. Now 11.1% can be written as 0.111. If you calculate this, it will approximately be equal to $1,000. So I guess it's clear till now. But what if there are multiple returns? What is compounding? What is discounting? What is annuity? What is perpetuity? I think let's hold on for today, and we'll cover everything in upcoming videos. But till then, thanks a lot for watching this video, and please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thanks a lot. See you next time.